Traders, how you doing? Tom with Tom Willard Trading. Another video. It's been 2 weeks since my last one on January 16th. Today is Saturday, January 30th, 2021. Welcome back to another video. I feel it fitting to first talk about this GameStop thing going on and just kind of my take on the whole thing. And um, a lot of people actually that know me that they'll reach out to me and say, "Hey, are you trading this GameStop thing?" And my answer is no. I'm not trading this at all. And a couple of things on this. I think, I don't know the inner workings of what's going on with platforms supposedly freezing trading where you can no longer sell or you can't buy more of it. You can only sell. Um, I know that from a short perspective, there's not a lot of there. You can't find shares to short. You have to do a locate, and I think that'd be. I didn't even try. Like I said, I told someone in my Twitter feed who was tweeting with me. Um, they were asking me about it. I was like, no, I don't mess around. I got better things. There's so many other stocks to trade that are behaving in a more um, respectful manner with regards to the candlesticks because I make my decisions based off a candlestick analysis, technical analysis. And when things go buck wild like this, pretty much all bets are off, man. It's a wild thing going on, and you can't really do anything about it. Now, I've got GameStop here, a weekly chart upper right, daily upper left, 60 and 15 here. I haven't backed them up, but you notice I backed these up quite a way. So I took the weekly back, and look at this. This is January 1st of 2020. So this is over a year ago here. Now you notice that this thing has been wallowing between 8 and 4 since mid 2019 to mid 2020. It was really hanging in that area. Now I don't know when these supposed people in these hedge funds were getting short or adding to their positions or whatever. I shorted GameStop way back in the old day here, back in 2018, 2019, and made a killing on it, and I bailed. Um, but apparently their thing is going to zero, and from a logical perspective, I could see where they're coming from. But it's the float's pretty thin. Now I talk about stops all the time, and that you need to honor your stops. And these supposed professionals in hedge funds, and now again, I think there's a lot of shady crap going on. I think people are bailing other people out, and you got these people that come out of college and they're immediately coming out of college with just a college degree with no real world freaking experience, and people that are getting ready to retire are trusting these idiots to handle their wealth for them. And to me, it just boggles my mind. That's why it's so important. Everyone, I don't care if you got a day job, you need to learn technical analysis. Now, I teach it for free on YouTube. You can go pay people to do it. There's some idiots out there that teach it that think they know what they're doing, and I guess you have to figure out for yourselves. I'm not going to name any names, but I was in that business, and there's a lot of people that teach but never trade, can't make a dime on their own. Um, I got out of that business. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to teach everyone for free. Now, granted, my time and my freedom is very important to me. So I don't want to spend time teaching classes live to people. And really, well, so all I do is I create these videos. I created a series of 10 or 11 videos on my YouTube channel that pretty much soup to nuts gives you the basics on it. And then to me, self-education is the best thing to do. It's trial and error. It's understand statistical analysis, understand what a statistically significant sample is, understand what an objective trading system is, and then go for it, man. Do back test, forward test, real-time test, whatever you need to do, right, to figure out that your edge works and use it. So all that aside, this GameStop thing, my point is when you're taking stops, these guys that are they have these big egos. They're like, no, we're right. This is going to go down. And this is where I'm telling you that you've got to take your stops. So let's just look at the weekly chart here, upper right of GameStop. So say you're shorting this, and like I said, I shorted it back when it was in the $20 area and got out when it was around the $8 area. So I made a great income off this thing shorting it, but then I got out and I moved on to other things. Now, just say, for example, because this is a legitimate shorting pattern. See the short pattern here, right here where my cursor is in July of 2019? That's a breakdown. You could short that. Okay, so let's just do a lesson. If you shorted that, where would your stop be? Where would my stop be? I can't say you, right? My stop would be above $6. So I short it. Okay, so I'm writing it down. I'm thinking, okay, this thing's going to zero. All right, things are looking great. Okay, there's the first sign of volume pop on green. And let's see what the high of that candle is on the weekly chart. It is, oops, went too far there. $4.25. So now, if I got short at say 550, at 425, I'm saying, okay, if 425 comes, I'm taking profits. I'm going to take some off the table. All right. So say I do that, or say I don't. Say I just hold all of it. Well, regardless, my stop is above $6 a share because that's where the top of my setup is. and I'm getting out, no questions asked. If it hits, oh, I'm out. Okay? So what was a winning trade? Either if I didn't milk some profits off or have a profit-taking system, or maybe my target was only $4 a share. I don't know. Okay? I didn't take this trade. But you got to honor your targets and you got to honor your trade management system. You can also trail stop on the bars. That'll get you out here to reap more profits. It'll also leave money on the table, which you'll always leave money on the table, mind you, because things will regress and they'll come retrace and go back down. So you don't know if this little bar here, you don't know when this happened, if this was just going to be a blip, right? And then it would just continue down towards zero. But it didn't. Okay? So none of us know what's happening. But the bottom line is you got to have stops. You got to have protective stop losses. 3 words. Protective being the most key one. So these idiots leverage the hell out of their profits. They're hedge fund managers. They're BSDs, and they know what the hell they're doing supposedly. And then they're crying wolf now when a thin stock, people start buying it. Now that's another thing is the Reddit people or even Kramer, people on TV, they're pumping stocks all the time. It's not any different to me because you can pump stuff. Hell, I send out ideas on Twitter. You get ideas from these videos, right? I don't know if you're taking them. You could be like, hey, this Tom guy's an idiot. I'm going to short everything he says. I know for a fact I've shorted some of the stuff that Kramer suggests because I think it's idiocracy, some of the stuff he suggests. Things up 7 days in a frickin' row, 2 resistance area. He recommends it on his show. It gaps up the resistance. You're goddamn right I'm going to be frickin' shorting the damn thing and making my money on it, right? So you got the point is you got to know what you're doing. Kramer gives great. I buy some of the stuff he offers. He says too, right? So it really has nothing to do with what he says. It's ideas, and then I always go back to my method and my technology, my technique that tells me whether I'm going to get in or whether this person I think is full of you know what, and I'm going to go against them, or they don't know what the hell they're talking about and I'm going against them, or you don't even have to think about it that way. It's not a going against or going for. It's like, hey, this is an idea. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go short that, or I'm going to go long that. So GME, things are going along here, and say Reddit comes along and says, hey, this is heavily short, let's buy this. Well, everyone is listening to him. I tweeted about this yesterday. I was like, who are these people that just listen to Elon Musk when he tweets something and Kramer and me without even thinking critically for themselves about what they're doing? And I mean, these people, they're asking for a killing. And so the flip side of this, even though I think there's some shady stuff going on with Robinhood and whatever, and some of these rules and that are coming up, but there is some validity to some of the justification that I've heard that they've said around margin and all the rest of that stuff and protecting people. Although that's a whole other thing around oversight from Big Brother, in my opinion. But nonetheless, mark my words, if you were one of those people that just bought this thing because you heard it on the news, you follow the Reddit people, someone else pumped it, and you're just thinking, hey, this is going to go on forever, you may make money on this trade, but I'm telling you right now, don't spend it. Keep it because you're going to pay it back to the market with interest. So let's just move this along here, 20th of July. Now, if you didn't take your stop at 6, then what are these hedge funds, right? Here, when this breakdown failed and it took it out again at 7 here, on volume, it's time to get out. So I have no sympathy for these idiots on these hedge funds, these professional money managers. I don't know what the hell they're doing, man. They have no freaking clue. And then think he's going, look, this is at $10 a share, guys. Listen, $10 a share, it's screaming, get the hell out, right? What is it? Pride and ego that allows them to lose these billions of dollars, right? And they have no business managing other people's money. None whatsoever, in my opinion. If you can't control your emotions, then you shouldn't be doing that, right? And then they get hope, right? This is what happens, right? When you're in a position it's going against you, and then you get a day later, you go, oh, okay, see, I'm right, and they'll double down. And then, oh, now what? I mean, the pain here is already huge. Now this is the nail in the coffin, right? But if someone can extend them credit, saying, oh no, these guys, they're in a hedge fund, they know what they're doing. We're going to go ahead and just extend them credit, and they can keep borrowing to short, and then all hell breaks loose, right? So now let's just go to the daily chart and let's see what happens. Rhyme or reason of what's going on here on the daily chart. And to me, if you look at the daily chart, it really loses control right here, and basically what's going on now to me is just gambling. So you may complain that you can't buy GameStop at $325 a share, but I'm telling you right now, If you're trying to buy GameStop up in these areas, you are playing Russian roulette. I mean, yes, could it go? I was joking about it in Twitter as well. I said, hey, maybe GameStop will go to 40,000 like Bitcoin. Could it? Absolutely, it could. Right? Wouldn't that be something if this went to 40,000? And then you'll be saying 3 weeks from now when it does, Tom, I wish I wouldn't have listened to your video and I should have bought this at 325. Hey, listen, it could, but you think I'm buying it? Hell no, I'm not buying it. And someone is going to be left holding the bag. The Reddit people, whoever's pumping this stock, at some point they're going to be unwinding this position if they haven't already. So if they're still pumping it, somehow, you got to be careful when you're listening to these people and making these choices, right? And to jump in. And I'm telling you, the people that are jumping in, this may go to 600, and these people that are buying now at 325 are going to look like geniuses. But what I'm telling you is if you do that and you're successful, great. But you know what? This sort of behavior, this sort of attitude, this sort of quote-unquote technique, this is going to bleed you dry. Mark my words. The market will come for it eventually. It may take a couple months. It may take a couple years. You may go about this for many years, and all of a sudden, one trade with your name on it with this lack of discipline is going to kill you. All right? You got to be careful and have a technique. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it at that. And I don't trade this at all, and I have no interest in trading this because there's so many other good things that are behaving on a much more reasonable level, meaning that the candlesticks mean something. If you got stuff going all over the place, then the previous candlesticks don't mean anything. There's no support and resistance. It's just complete Wild West wackiness. Okay, even Bitcoin in its run has had some rhyme or reason. In fact, let's look at those now. Let's segue there before we go into the market. Here's Bitcoin. Now it's gone ballistic, right? And those of you guys, you can go back to my videos. Go to my videos. I was talking about it back here at 8, 9,000. I bought it at 12. I talked about it at 16, right? And I said, now what? And I said it's going higher. And now what's it doing? If you look here on the weekly chart, it's creating a giant flag. Now this is a $10,000 flag, okay? Not for the weak of heart. But nonetheless, it's forming. You've got what I call a double tap situation. Big fan of Zombieland, where you get the first long setup, second long setup. So a double stop. This pivot here failed, okay, and now we got a higher low. So technically here, you've got a higher low to bank off of, and a realistic low here around 28,000 and change, where you got a hard line in the sand for a stop if you want to. I think this thing may come down and toil in the 30,000. It is definitely showing support at $29,000, $30,000. So I think that's where a good stop is. If you're initiating positions, if you got in like me, your average cost is so low on this thing. You should have been taking profits like I did up in the $40,000 range. All right. But this thing looks higher, but it's wild and whippy. I mean, $10,000 swings on this in a matter of a day or two. Totally possible and legit. But some of you guys, again, it depends on your money. You could buy $500 worth of Bitcoin, or you could buy one share of Tesla, or one share of Apple, or one share of Google, or one share of Amazon. So it just depends on, a $500 loss to someone, it may be the same as a $5,000 loss to someone else. But these ranges are huge. So be aware of that. Ethereum, which I remember, if you go back to one of my videos from back in the day, when Bitcoin was in the $12,000 to $15,000 range, I was talking about how Ethereum was relatively weak. Well, now Ethereum is relatively strong. Look at the high flag here, right? Here, let me go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, see the flag here on the weekly? Look at the Ethereum flag. Relative strength. This is the one that you need a piece of the action in, guys, if you're in the cryptos, out of these two. Now, there's some other ones that are much cheaper, less than a penny, in the $3 range. I mentioned a few on Twitter. ADA and Celo, CELO, ADA, and of course the dog coin, the DOGE, has been the soup du jour last week. But these two, Ethereum and Bitcoin, are still the kings and queens in my world. And I think Ethereum is definitely one you want a piece of the action on. It's stronger than Bitcoin at this point, and I think at percentage-wise, you go higher than Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, no doubt, is not too shabby. All right. So there's my crypto speech for today. Good Lord, I'm 14 and a half minutes in. I haven't even talked about the market yet. Okay, let's make this quick. Let's get to the point. I like to keep my videos 20 to 30 minutes tops. Remember last time, 2 weeks ago, I talked about how I had the spider sense that the market was going to come down. Well, I was wrong. Here was the day, right? And what happened? We had 5 days in a row up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, actually, yeah, 5 days with the bottom tail. All right. Then is starting to come to fruition. And I'm telling you right now, guys, I went through my scans. There's a lot of broken charts that are leaders that are getting hammered. I think there's more downside. I don't think we're going to go like this here in March, right? I think we're going to go probably a little bit more significant than these moves. So if you look at this move here, it went from, let's go back on the daily chart there for, what is that, September-ish of 20, September 20. Let's just look at it on the daily chart, the retracement. All right, yeah, this is something more that I see happening here. This, you've got about a $25 move, $30 move down here in the SPYs, and similarly here about $25, $30 move. So if you do that and you add a little bit because we're a higher percentage, so what was it, 390-ish? What was it? Where we were at 385. So that'll put us at like 350, 340. I think it's coming down, taking out the 350 area and touching, kissing off this beautiful top, this 20-period moving average on the weekly chart is in the cards. So short term, I think some short ideas are great. I got a few I'm gonna share with you. Long ideas obviously are still there, but obviously pull the chain if your long positions are getting stopped out. I know I've been taking profits. I looked at my accounts and it's funny because I don't manage this on a percentage basis. I thought on Friday well, let me just look and see what percentage I'm in cash. And I went to all my different accounts, and I'm average about 40% in cash right now. So I've gotten stopped out for profits on a lot of my things. Some of my stuff, I got into ATRA. I talked about this. I got in as a swing long and got out the same day, Friday. Swing long did here, right here, when it broke above this candle off this, and it took me out on the stop right at the low of the day. In and out like a robbery on ATRA. So I took a loss there on Friday on this one. But that's the thing you'll find about me, and I think you'll find about successful traders, is they take their stops. You got to, and again, now, just like one of the other stocks, I can't remember what it was, the same thing happened on another stock, and we made a killing on it later, those of you guys that followed me, because I got right back in, because what happens is the stop will turn around and say the market starts going back up, and this goes, look at this weekly pullback to the moving average and minor support. It doesn't get any more textbook than this. This is a beautiful long entry, and that's why I entered it. But when I stop got hit, did I say, well, no, it's too beautiful, I'm not taking my stop, like these GameStop morons? No. I took my stop and got the hell out of Dodge. What did it cost me? Zero. Right? Commissions are nothing. Get out. Get back in tomorrow or Monday for zero if I wanted to. Nonetheless, beautiful pattern, beautiful pullback. Now, granted, it's still under the 200 period moving average, no doubt, but the rising 20 over the 50, you got minor support to the left. Hell, I'll smoke this thing again on Monday. If it hits above 20, I'll get back in. And if it goes back under 18, I'll get stop right back out again. It'll chop me up. That's fine, because I'm going to buy this pattern if it sets up again. But I'm telling you right now, I got in and I got out. I honor my stops. No questions asked. No hand wringing. No, gee, maybe I oughta. Just get the hell out of Dodge if you want to be in this game for a very long time. All right? So, ATRA, I like it long. Like I said, I was in and out, but I may get back in. Where's it got to go? It's pretty much got to go above this topping tail. Around $20 to $21 a share is what you're looking at. And, of course, you need a more healthier market. But ATRA here, perfect example I want to bring up. That came up on Friday, and I actually talked about it, and I was in and out. And I'll show you that I don't win all the time. Some of you guys think that I win all the time. I don't. Right? It's not about winning all the time. It's about having your winners be larger, much larger than your losers, and adding to your winners as they're moving in your direction. Genesis, case in point, I've been adding to this thing for years. Not years, but for quite some time after this move off the lows. And it continues to move. Now, granted, it broke out here and it's pulled back. Where is it pulled back to? Minor support, right? Right here around 720, 730 $730 area. It's got support in that area. It's got the rising moving average. It's got the rising on the weekly. This thing looks higher. Now, if the market, now, could this thing fall to 3? It could, right? The market completely unravels. Things start falling apart. People start having to sell everything they have. This could fall apart, so nothing is for sure. But right now, this is one of the leaders, okay? So watching this for a pullback, if it comes down the $7 area here, I may add to my position. I'm already in this long, swing long from a long ways. Taking profits, buying it back, taking profits, buying it back, taking profits. Took some profits here at 8, buying it back, okay? If I get so lucky to have it down here, Vuzi's another one. You'll see me if you've been following me on Twitter. This thing has been smoking ever since this breakout here. Breakout, high flag. Okay, look at that beautiful flag. Oh, gorgeous. $10 entry here, maybe even $9 if you got it here, clipped it here, or even off this topping tail because it made the higher lows. Then this thing went ballistic to 16, sold into that part of my position, came back, buying it at 13, bought it at 12, bought a little bit more 11, nibbling back in. Now where's the support? Well, it kissed off of about 1050-ish, I think. Let's see where it was. 1065, which is what? Minor support. There's support in this area. There should be support in this area. Now, there might not be. Like I said, we could wait on Monday. This thing could be at $4 a share, and I'll take a, it would have taken me out to the woodshed, and I'll take my stop and get out at 4. I don't know. It could be, right? That's part of the game. But right now, it's supporting. So I want to see a support here. Now, where's the entry? Am I going to buy more of this? You bet I'm going to buy more of this if it gives me a setup. Now, I've been buying the more risky way, just on support levels, on the fact that it's pulling back and anticipating the market to go higher. Okay, my hard stop on this thing is right around $8 a share. Okay, my average cost is still low because I was buying it back in this area. And what I want to see is that, and for those of you guys that aren't in this, what you want to see is that you want to see a green candle set up in this area between 10 and 12. Maybe take a whole week to do that, and then volume pick up, and then you want to see it break the top of that candle, and that's when you would get long. So you can front run it like I am and buy it in this $11, $12 area right now. It's more risky. You get bigger payoff for it, or because this thing could turn right around, or you could just wait and see if you get a candle. You could also just buy this red candle, the high of this red candle, if it breaks above 1230, and then your stop's going to be under the 1065, 1050 area. Okay, so Vuzi's one to watch. I'm looking to add. I'm already in it. Looking to add the position. Genesis is one I'm already in. Looking to add the position. I've been buying into the wrap. Wrap here is showing bottoming. I like the volume here. Notice the volume spikes. You get big spikes, but the topping tails come in. Every time it tries to go higher, it gets slammed back. But it's making higher lows, which makes me think this thing's going to have some upside potential. I like wrap on the long side. I'm in this one as well, looking for a way to add to it, but it's sloppy, it's wide, and it's whippy. So right now, since I bought a lot down here in this $5 area, I'm probably just going to stick with my original position and see if it runs. And guess what? My stop is just under the $4 and that $4.50 area on wrap. All right, a couple quick longs. SLDB, this is a beautiful one. You've got a big move, pull back, big move, pull back. Here's the pullback, came down, double tapped, higher low. Double tap higher low is what? That's just an inverse head and shoulders. Break point is $7 a share. Stop is right about 550, 570-ish. Watch SLDB, swing long if you get some. ONCT, this one's also looking long, right? Trying to pop off this lows. The weekly's been damaged quite a bit. The daily here is showing higher levels, stepping up. Break above this $6 area, maybe the top of this tail, 625. Looking good on the long tip for ONCT. LXRX is another one I just found. High flag. Look at this thing moving. All right, it's up here. Big candle, holding the range. Market got crushed last few days. This one's holding like a champ. $9-ish entry. Stop about 750. Watching this area. A lot of topping tails here, so some supply up in here. So it's got to try to get above that for me to want to get on this LXRX. But it looks pretty good here for a long. Last but not least, on the long side, I got GTech. Another one here. Big ups, came down. You got a higher low. It's showing some support here. $8 probably my entry area here. Stops under the lows around 650 on GTech. Very nice. All right, so those of you guys that are along on these things, don't get pissed because I'm going to say these are short-term, short ideas. Now, I'm like everyone else. I hope the market keeps going up, okay? But I'm not in this to hope. I'm in this to make money. And right now it looks like the people are on the run. I think we're going to get more downside before we get more upside. I may be wrong, and that's why we have stops. I can be wrong, right? Take stops. But I think this Etsy, so I talked about that Zombieland double tap. Well, here it is. So it's the first tap, right? The zombie's not dead yet. It triggered long here. And what I think it's going to do is take out the stops. So if you can be nimble and quick, I think a short in this 200 to 205 area with a stop at 210, and you look for a move down to about the 170 support area, ideally, or if it stalls in the 180 area. Because it's still extended on the weekly, I think this thing can come down. I think it'll make a higher low. I don't think it'll take out this low. If it does, it could. Because what happens is if people already didn't get their stops taken out, they may be belligerent and want to say, well, my stop is 165. And they may hold until that area, so that it may come down and get that. But that's what I'm thinking on Etsy here as a short-term short. These shorts I'm going to be mentioning to you are more advanced, and they may piss some of you off because you may be core long in these. In fact, I was long in some of these, 2 of them especially, 3 of them actually, for quite a long time. But I'm completely out now because of what I'm feeling is changing in the markets. Twilio, again, single tap. Where's the double tap? It's coming, I think. Single tap here, first entry. Off this aggressive move off these highs. I think this is going to fail. I think this is going to take out this low and stop these people out. 329.13. So that's the low here. If you get short in the 360 area, you x-ray down to the 60-minute chart. in this 60 area, you can put a stop here about 370, about the precipice of this breakdown. The moving average here at 370, 360, stop 370, target what? 320, 330, 320, right in the support area here. Twilio, watch it short. Pinterest, this was one of my favorite stocks in the world, made a ton of money on this thing. Completely out. You got your tornadic formation, expanding range, mid-range consolidation, double tap setting up here, trying to go higher. I think it breaks this low. I think if things fall apart next week, we get some crappy earnings reports from people, this thing is going to go down and take this. These in general, these ones I'm sharing with you. Tesla, I actually tweeted about on Friday. I talked about when this thing was sitting here at 825, I think. If you look at the times on my Twitter feed, I said it appears to me that Tesla is sitting on the edge of a cliff that has a giant $800 painted on it. Well, guess what? Literally about a half hour after I made that tweet, this thing completely collapsed through 800. Now, again, I don't think people are going like the Reddit dudes going, oh, hey, this Tom guy, he tweeted this. I don't have that many followers. Goes, hey, well, let's just short this thing. I don't think that happened. I think it's technical analysis. What I'm seeing is here, I talked about, if you go back to my video from 2 weeks ago, I said I might be more apt to short a breakout on Tesla. And what happened? It broke out above before earnings, and you could have shorted it there, okay? I like shorting this thing on the day only, and this thing looks good, and I think this thing looks lower. So any sort of attempt to get up in the 820 range, I'm looking to short it. Stop around 850 and change, and target, hold on to your seats. I think this thing's going to 650. I think it'll go to 650. If you look at the moving averages and the amount of time it'll take, I think it'll go to 650 to 600. That'll be my aggressive target. 700 probably my more not aggressive target. I can't come up with the words. My thesaurus in my brain isn't working right now. Tesla, though, I think is a short right now. If you are so inclined, again, these are more advanced trades. You got to know what you're doing, and you got to honor your stops because you can get crushed. At least on the long side, you can only lose all your money. On the short side, you can lose a lot more than the money you have. Okay, so be careful, know what you're doing. But Tesla looks lower. Peloton, one of my faves of all time. Double tap looking to happen here. Support area. If it breaks through this low, I think this thing goes lower. So you can anticipate a short here in the mid 140s to stop above 150, and watch this thing try to shoot down for the support area about 120. I think Peloton's going down. If the market, now again, if the market completely recovers on Monday, great earnings reports, puppy dogs and ice cream, and everything starts moving back up, then hey, these shorts are probably not going to work out. But I'm giving you some options in case you're interested and you know what you're doing. XB, this is stupid extended on the weekly chart, right? Stupid extended. Big topping tail, 3 bars down. I want to see it trigger along, and then I'll get short on the trigger on the long side and look for it to bring back down to the 90 area range on XB. So there's my ideas on XB. I shared Piton. Hey, man, that's everything. I got it all done under a half hour. So congratulations. Thanks for sticking with me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I say over and over again, have a technique. Don't just follow what I'm saying. You should have a technique, and you can critically question and analyze what I'm telling you that I'm doing, and you can make your own decisions. Who knows? You may be a better trader than I am. You may have more insight. I know experience to me, as the years go by, get better and better as it goes along because you see more things, you see more scenarios. And I would just say stay with the game, learn from your mistakes, but follow your plan, guys. Follow your plan. Don't want to get lucky, because if you get lucky, trust me, it's not lucky, it's a curse. You will lose your money back. It's just a matter of time. All right, guys. Stay well, stay safe, trade well, stay on top of your game. Follow me on Twitter. Hit me up, Tom@TomWillerTrading.com. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you in the next one.